Hello and welcome to our Stocks to Watch series from Global One Media, bringing you news from leaders of companies around the world to help you make informed investment decisions. I am Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host, and today I'm joined by Joel Freudman, the CEO and Director of TRU Precious Metals, a company that is overseeing a highly prospective land package in central Newfoundland. TRU Precious Metals is listed on the TSX Venture Exchange as TRU and on the OTCQB as TRUIF. Hello, Joel. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has. Thanks, Munir. Happy to be back.
You're welcome. So congratulations on finally closing the strategic investment agreement with Ormonde Mining. We spoke before when it was a proposal. So great work on closing the deal. Can you walk us through the events of the last few months leading up to the closure of this offering? And perhaps you can tell us more about the terms of this agreement.
As you said, it's a major accomplishment for us to close the deal. We pride ourselves on deal execution, and in a market as challenging as this, it's one thing to even say we've secured a deal or we've signed something up. It's very much another to get it completed on the same terms that were negotiated and announced. And so I think that alone is a major testament to our team's execution. We actually met this group, Ormonde Mining, at PDAC Mining Convention in Toronto in early March. We've been talking with them since, negotiating, visualizing how the relationship would look. They've done extensive corporate due diligence on TRU, as well as significant technical due diligence by their technical team. So basically, they've sent geologists out to our property to evaluate it. They've been grilling our exploration team, frankly, for a couple of months, looking through our data room. So I know geology and mineral exploration is highly technical and scientific. They've done their homework before pulling the trigger on this investment. Ormonde is investing $3 million into TRU, which is, again, major, especially for a company of our size, and certainly in this market. You really don't see other companies landing financings of this scale, let alone an overseas strategic investment. The $3 million is coming in at 5 cents a unit, which is well above the current market price. And they're going to get, each unit they get is one share and half of a warrant priced at 7.5 cents. So they're going to result in owning a 36% stake in TRU, which is a controlling share position.
That's a substantial amount from a major company. And as you said, they've done their homework. So that should give a lot of confidence to investors. And I've already noticed that your stock price has spiked. It was very impressive. The trading volume was very good. So congratulations on that. You mentioned that the offering represents a game-changing inflection point for TRU Precious Metals. Can you explain why that is the case and tell us more about your next steps?
I can tell that the market sees this as the game changer for the company. Like you mentioned, TRU was actually, I think, the third or fourth most actively traded stock on the entire TSX Venture Exchange when we announced this closing. So that you're talking about a universe of maybe 800 to 1,000 companies, and we were in the top 5 for volume, which is great. Share price up 75% on the news. Again, these are terrific starts. We have to build from here, but they're really great starts. And I think it's because the market can tell, number one, most importantly, in a market environment like this, we're now very well capitalized. That's already a differentiator. It probably puts us at the top of the pack, amongst most of the small companies in terms of well-funded treasury. So now we don't have to worry about money, regardless of what the market does. We don't have to go back to the market for financing. There shouldn't be a dilution overhang on the stock. These are all material positives for both our share price as well as the company on a fundamental level. But in addition, with this kind of money, we can very tactically attack our Golden Rose project in central Newfoundland, which already has high-grade gold, already has high-grade copper. It's beside, a 5 million ounce gold mine being put into production next year, or in a year and a half, by Marathon Gold next door. So we've got all the right pieces. We now have the capital to continue to advance that property to build value, but also to pursue a number of strategic and corporate initiatives we've been looking at internally for quite some time, as well as the explicit backing now of Ormonde to very strategically revisit how we approach the business. And so I think that's why this is such a game changer, is capital and significant expertise from Ormonde, as well as a controlling shareholder to generally support our growth and advancement of the business and our Golden Rose project.
So the road is really smooth going on from here, I can imagine. And Ormonde took a substantial stake in TRU Precious Metals, as I understand. So also changes in your board of directors were made. Can you tell us more about those changes and the governance experience of the current board, as well as their perhaps expected strategic direction?
Governance is very important to us at TRU Precious Metals. I think it's not widely respected, perhaps, in the microcap sector, but we take it very seriously, and it's led to us landing a strategic investment like this. And for example, us having other institutional large shareholders like Altius Minerals, which is a $1 billion company, and Eric Sprott, who's a Canadian precious metals billionaire investor. And so you really can't land high quality investors unless you have a high quality board of directors and governance structure, and a high quality management team and exploration team, and supporting corporate infrastructure in terms of personnel. So we had Brian Timmons join our board when we signed the deal, actually back at the end of June. He has an investment banking background. He also managed one of the largest funds in Ireland, investing in large institutions. So very sophisticated on the financial side. He's an accountant by training. Most recently, when we closed this deal earlier this week, Steve Nickel joined our board. Steve is a mining engineer. He has over 3 decades of experience. He's put a mine into production in Spain. So this is exactly the type of technical or development acumen you would want on our board of directors to help us as we advance our Golden Rose project, as well as generally whatever other opportunities may come up in the future. So that's a really strong, those are 2 really strong additions to our board. The rest of the directors are myself and Manish Kshatriya, also an accountant, focused on business development as well as cost savings, which is great. And Ormonde also has the right to appoint an additional nominee, so a 3rd person to a 5-person board of directors, in order to round out the board. And that nominee is expected to be announced shortly. But I think we're going to have a very strong board of directors with a well-rounded skill set, not only for oversight of our company, which is useful for you to know as for investors to know, but also importantly, really, like you say, to guide the strategic direction of the company, to oversee management, to exercise the functions that a proper board of directors should.
Wonderful. So you have all the knowledge and capabilities you need to continue from here. My last question is, I know that investors are already excited, but why should they continue to be excited from here forward? What are the implications of this deal for them? And what should potential investors consider when looking at TRU Precious Metals now?
The excitement's evident in the market, Monir, like you touched on. So I think that's a great starting point. We have our work cut out for us ahead, but I think when you've got this kind of capital base in a very difficult market, there are going to be opportunities. There are going to be opportunities in terms of acquisitions, internal corporate initiatives that we can come up with, ways to explore Golden Rose that we may not have had access to capital to before, as well as, of course, the backing of this larger company. So we're going to have tremendous runway and financial flexibility to do it over the coming weeks and months. And I think also simply the fact we landed this investment should really speak to investors. We're probably one of 100 companies, let's say, to secure a financing of this size from a strategic investor in a very difficult market, especially for junior exploration companies. And so you should be asking yourself, do you want to invest in the other 99, or do you want to invest in the one that landed the investment? And also, there must have been a reason for us to secure this investment. Golden Rose project may be the 1 in 100 that has the serious advancement and development potential over time. So you should really be asking yourself these questions as an investor as you're doing your due diligence on TRU. And again, at the end of the day, we're well capitalized, well funded. We have a motivated team. We have a strategic backer. We have significant technical expertise. We have a project with high grade gold and copper. We're beside about to be an operating gold mine. It's a very extensive list for investors, and I hope that kind of excitement stays there. And rest assured, we are going to be working very hard to continue delivering news and fundamental developments to build the shareholder value of this company over time. We're very large shareholders ourselves. I own about 4% of the company. The rest of our board owns stock as well. We're all very motivated to get the share price moving and keep it going in the right direction.
So your interests are aligned with those of the investors, and there are already many encouraging factors for them to look at. And we'll certainly meet again to talk about your upcoming news soon. Joel Freudman, the CEO and Director of TRU Precious Metals, thank you so much for sharing those updates with us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks, everybody, and keep a close eye on TRU over the next few weeks and months.